Mike, I couldn't agree with you more. Life goes through changes, and we have to go through changes. We have to change and adapt with life, and change is hard. We don't like change. I don't know very many people who are like, yes, change. Like change usually means that something that we're used to doing, we're not doing anymore. Something that used to happen is not happening. Like change can be a very difficult thing in life. But it's an essential part of life. Growth can't happen without change, right? So again, change can sometimes be bad, but change can oftentimes be good. And we just have to adapt with it, and I'm trying to do that with my channel, and kind of reframe my perspectives on things, because the thing that I've noticed is that the more time you spend on social media, and be careful about this, I'm trying to spend less time on social media, but it's also hard because I'm trying to find a balance, because I want to spend less time on social media, more time in the real world, more time with my family, but also I realize that social media is kind of become partly my job at this point, so it's kind of hard to find that balance. But the more time you spend on social media, the more it distorts your perception of reality. For example, my channel goes through ups and downs. There's, weeks and months and times where I will have great engagement, and every single one of my videos is getting 10,000, 100,000, a million views, and all of my videos are getting really good engagement. And then I'll have, when I look at my analytics, I'll have 40 million people this week, 100 million people this week. There's been some weeks that have just had insane traction where every single video got 10 million or more, and then I'm getting, millions and millions of views and millions of likes, and I'm just yeah, and they get you addicted to that. Is what happens. They get you addicted to that attention, and you're yeah, you start to crave it, and then over time that starts to become, this is normal. Okay, and I know that sounds ridiculous. This sounds absolutely absurd. But that's how they get you. They get you where you're thinking, millions of views, millions of people seeing what I do, millions of people wanting to watch me. That's normal. No, it's not. That's ridiculous. Millions of people want to watch me is bonkers. But they get you thinking in your head that millions of people want to see me, and that's normal reality. Yeah. So then what happens is times change, interest changes, the algorithm changes, just things go up and down, and then all of a sudden you hit a down point, and then all of a sudden your content's not getting as much traction, your content's not getting as much engagement, and you're like, what am I doing wrong? I'm shadow banned. That's what it is. I'm shadow banned. Someone hates me, and, or you're like, the algorithm, the algorithm's, messing me up. Or you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Why does no one like me? And it's easy to get down when you're not seeing the engagement. You're just looking at the difference, right? You're looking at, this is what it was. This is what it is. What happened? But here's the thing. For instance, last week, I still had 100,000 people. My engagement's really down. It's not what it used to be. But I still had 100,000 people watch my content last week. And to me, that's still nuts. I mean, think about it. If someone had told me just 5 years ago, say, hey, Balloon Josh, you know that in 5 years, 100,000 people are going to want to tune in to watch what you do for a living. I'd be like, okay, get out of here, right? So, but here's the thing, is again, it's how social media kind of distorts your perception. I was kind of feeling down on myself that I'm not getting the, tens of millions of views a week or 100 million views a week. And I was like, I'm only getting 100,000 views last week. And then I was like, wait a second, only? What do you mean only? I got 100,000. And so I just want to encourage you, even if you, again, and I know it's kind of easy for me to, but I'm just saying, even if you only, think about it. Even if you're, a smaller creator and you're only getting 1,000 views a week, or you post a video and you get 1,000 views. I mean, just pause for a second and think. I know it's easy for us to be like, that video isn't very good. That video didn't go viral. That video only had 1,000 views. But imagine if the 1,000 people who saw your video were there in person. That's an insane amount of people. But again, I just, want to encourage you that if you're only getting 1,000, if you feel like you're only getting 1,000 views on something, or you feel like your engagement's low, just imagine that for every single video, look at the numbers, look at your engagement, and imagine if those people who engaged, liked, viewed, commented, imagine if they were there in person, and it kind of changes your perception of what is a lot. I don't know, just my thoughts. What do you think?